Yo, droners, and welcome to a review. And I got the DJI SPARK Fly More combo because I paid for it and wasn't important enough to get it from DJI like some of the other YouTubers. Honestly, when I first paid for it, like my soul was a little bit hurt. But now that it's almost in my hands, I'm actually really excited about this. At first I was like, why would I ever use this? I don't know what I'm gonna do it for. And now it's here and I'm like, I'm gonna use it for everything. Okay. So, I'm gonna pull this out of here, or do this. So I'm gonna pull this open, and there I got the blue one. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, well, I got really excited. I was really scared because I remembered ordering a color of it, and then it came in the box, and the box had like the white thing on it, and I was like, oh, I mean, I wouldn't have been mad, but like, you know, I didn't want a white one. So now I'm just really happy that I actually ordered the blue one because blue is that fire. Oh, wow. This thing's adorable. It's so little and so simple. Look how little the blades are. Oh, they're so funny. This is gonna be fun, but it feels solid though. It feels like it could actually handle a crash or two. Like a Phantom can't handle a crash. Like that's not Inspire Phantom, forget it. But a Mavic can handle a little bit of a crash, and this feels like it's even like a little bit more sturdy. So okay, we have the drone here. We have one extra battery that came with it. That's adorable. Look at this little battery. We have, oh, extra blades. Cool, I'll keep those in a little box. What we got in here? See, the thing I'm really excited about that nobody else had yet or has been really reviewing or just now starting to come out is this right here. Yep, this is that money right here. And it is the controller. Now this controller might look very familiar to you because this controller is darn near the exact same controller as the Mavic, except for it doesn't have like the telemetry screen on it because it's a much cheaper version and it's lighter. And the sport mode is literally right in the middle. Yeah, it feels like a Mavic controller. I wanted to put a prop guard on or something to see how it works. Camera guy Tony figured it out already. He just didn't even tell me how to do it. Wow, that's easy. All right, so I really wish I could just take off and fly, like do the hand thing right now, but the batteries are dead. So I'm gonna charge the batteries, I'm gonna play with it, and I'm gonna show you how to do the same. What's up, droners? So I've had half a day to play with this incredible toy thing. I don't know if it's a toy thing or not, but I'm actually really impressed with it. I didn't have the highest expectations, like I said, when I was unboxing it, but this thing is pretty cool. One of the coolest things I found out is there's actually 3 different ways that you can fly it. You can fly this thing via remote controller, which I will show you. You can fly this thing via cell phone, like Wi-Fi, like kind of you can do with the Mavic. Or you can actually fly this thing strictly with gesture control, which I thought was pretty cool. It still seems really rudimentary and basic. There's only a couple different gestures you can do. But that's all just a software thing. So that means there's gonna be a lot more coming in the future of different kind of gestures and things that you can have this do. As you can see, it's really cool that it takes off from your palm. It was different than I thought. And the biggest reason why it was different was because I thought you kind of just like had your palm be flat. But you don't do that. You actually have to wait until the lights on the drone turn red. Like as soon as it recognizes you and starts the motors, they turn green, then they turn red, and then you let it go and it like pops up out of your hand. You don't just do a flat palm thing, you actually have to hold it. Then after that, you can just stick your hand in front of it, hold it there for 2 seconds, and then it recognizes you. It turns green again, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And you can start moving it around in circles around you, which I found to be the coolest thing. Literally everybody who watched me do it's like, yo, you're a Jedi master. So you can do the out and way control, which pretty much you just wave at the drone. But the thing is, you have to be very careful when you wave. You can't just wave everything. You have to do an arm straight out, left, right. It's almost kind of like wax on, wax off kind of wave. You got to do that, and it'll just go back and away. I think it goes back 3 meters, up 3 meters or something like that. But it goes back and away a little distance, and it just sits there. And if you start walking and moving around, then it's going to follow you. So you see, as you can follow you, it'll follow you around the spot. It has like, you know, it'll follow you, whatever. You're like, cool, that's awesome. And you can take pictures by doing your fingers into the little square, as you can see me doing, and it takes pictures of you. And then you can bring it back to you. And you just do the Y from the YMCA, wah. You just give it a big Y, and it just comes right back. And then to land it, you just make sure the camera's looking at your face, and you put your hand under it, and it falls right into your hand. The second way that you can fly this thing is actually with your phone. The same thing as the Mavic. It's pretty much has the controllers come up on the phone itself, so you don't actually need anything but the phone, but it's also flown by Wi-Fi, so your connection is very short. You won't be able to fly it very far away from yourself. But you can still fly it. You'll be able to move it a lot more than you can do in gesture control. You have a lot more control. You can control the gimbal and things like that and be able to run video and be able to do photos. You just have a lot more control, just like you will with the Mavic or any other kind of drone. I actually was all about this. This came with the Fly More combo, and I'm all about this life to be able to have this controller. Now, my first impression of the controller is that it's the Mavic controller, but it's actually a very, very much so stripped down version of the Mavic controller. The most noticeable thing that you'll notice is that there is actually no input for a cord on any side or in any place. There's one small input there, but that is not how the cord's gonna work normally. So I was trying to figure out how is this gonna work with a phone and how are you gonna get transmission of seeing your image while you're flying this drone? And DJI did some pretty genius stuff. What they did is they still have the same technology that allows you to be connected to the drone and still transmits the signal for the drone. But what they do is make it so the RC controller actually emits a Wi-Fi signal. So your phone, you connect your phone to the Wi-Fi of this, and then from this, you actually you're pretty much flying it and also looking at the Wi-Fi and the screen from your phone. So it's pretty awesome. It just pretty much eliminated the cord. They could have done that with a Mavic. Maybe it's a battery piece or something like that, or maybe they just didn't think of it yet. But it's brilliant, actually. It's quite brilliant how it works. The other thing I don't know is that there's like 2 buttons on this that I'm not quite sure about yet. It's the FN button and this little button right here. There's an FN button on front. Otherwise, you got the sport mode, stop mode, return to home. Pretty standard stuff. Like, you know what everything else does on this controller. Hey. Without my prop guards, I would not be this brave to fly any drone this close to my face. But yeah, it's pretty stable in the air. It handles really well. Hey, it's sensing me right now. That was the sensor pretty much telling me that it could see me and that I was gonna hit myself. So the object avoidance does work. Pretty cool. Maybe I could fly it into Tony, let's see. That's as far as it'll go. I'm flying full force towards Tony right now. It won't let me do it. So I'm gonna take this thing for a spin, take it down the street, take a little distance and see how far this controller works. Oh, I was saying it's gonna hit the car. That's crazy. So you can see it's not very fast. I'm not in sport mode right now, but it says it's going like 6 miles an hour, which seems about right. It's not as stable as the other drones for sure. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back now. Not even close to as stable as a Mavic, but it's pretty impressive actually. I mean, I'm controlling it fairly accurately. The wind got to it and it did it some dirty. You guys see it swerve around like crazy. I wasn't doing that. So yeah, 6 miles an hour, that's the speed when you're that's the speed pretty much when you're just not in sport mode. In sport mode, I know it's probably not gonna care about the gimbal or camera anymore and it's just gonna go. Yeah, it's much faster and harder to control. So per every review you're gonna get here at DRONR, I have a list of things that I like to talk about. And I'm gonna go through it really quick because I feel like all these things are important for regardless if it's a toy drone or professional drone. So first thing is the expectations. I expected this drone to not be all that great. I really wasn't that excited about it, but honestly after playing with it, I like it. The field and the build quality is superb. It feels like it's solid. It feels like it feels like it's put together by professionals, and that's DJI, of course. The flight time, I didn't go through a full test. Actually, the guys at Ready Set Drone did that. And it's not that long. I think it's like, I honestly would say that I've flown this thing 3 times, 3 or 4 batteries. I've probably gotten like 10 to 12 minutes of battery at the most. I think what it's rated at is something around there. But you know, it really just depends on what you're doing. Like sitting still, it doesn't fly that well, but it's like if you're just moving it forward, then it flies for longer. Camera specs, it's 1080 camera. I mean, that's what it is. It's just regular HD. The pictures actually look really good though. So I actually really like the quality of the camera for how little it is. I mean, it's like this literally, this is either the identical twin of the camera for the Inspire 2 for the first person view, or it's a new camera in the same body. But this looks identical to the camera that you're gonna get if you get an Inspire 2 and it's the first person view camera. So yeah, it's very small, pretty much. It's like the extra camera on the camera drone. So the unique features are the gesture control. That is a huge deal. This is the only drone that I know of that you can fly without using any form of controller or input outside of what you have naturally to yourself, which is your hands and your body. So that's really impressive. Like you can literally complete an entire flight with literally nothing but the drone. That's a big deal because of what it's gonna mean for the future of drones and what it means for the future of the software for this drone. Reliability, It's pretty good. I mean, it does everything it's supposed to do, like the hand gesture control. Sometimes it loses you, but whenever it does something like that, it's smart. So it'll just land itself or something like that. It doesn't do, like it's landed itself twice now when it just loses me up in the sky and it's just, oh, okay, cool. Well, I guess I need to land. And you know, it's a DJI drone. It's gonna be reliable. The only thing I'd say isn't reliable about this is flying it in wind. Like this is, like we all thought the Mavic was small when it came out. This thing's blades are literally like almost half the size of a Mavic's blades. The wind blows this thing everywhere, and this is not meant to be like a high altitude or a high wind drone at all. Ease of use. This drone was meant for people that don't really deal with drones. Like this drone was literally designed, in my opinion, for people that are really obsessed with taking selfies. Like you could actually call this the ultimate selfie drone because you can just have this drone and then take a selfie with your fingers. Impressive. So when it comes to the price, it's $500 for the drone itself. It's $700 for the bundle, which I recommend you get the bundle because it comes with a controller, it comes with an extra battery, and it's all the stuff you really need. But like, it's really hard to say if that is actually a good price or not because there's no other drone that really compares to this. You know, there's a lot of drones that are this small, but they don't have the kind of technology. This thing has GPS, it has object avoidance, it has, you know, it has so much on it. And so like, I'll say the price is decent for what you get, you know, but it's still pretty pricey to have a drone that only shoots regular HD stuff when the standard now is 4K. But at the same time, it's so small that, you know, it's really hard to argue with it. So I'd say the jury's still out on the price, but I think if you have use for it, it's probably worth it. All right, so the recommended use for this is if you have a lot of money to throw away, then this is a great drone for you because it's fun and it's really cool and it feels really cool. I'm really happy I have it. But if I didn't have a YouTube channel, if I wasn't showing this to you guys, being a professional drone operator, I would have no use for this. The Mavic satisfies everything this does for me, but if you're looking to be able to get this versus the Mavic, that's a whole different conversation. I'm actually gonna make an entire video about that, I think, because there is a lot that can be considered in that. But it really just depends on what you wanna do. If you just wanna have a vacation drone, then this is a good vacation drone for somebody who has discretionary income, that doesn't really know how to fly drones, but really just wants to get some cool shots to be able to make their video for their family really cool. As is the new standard for DRONR, Casey Neistat actually inspired this, is to have a chart because charts make sense. So the chart that we're having here is for the camera drones, and it's gonna be the x-axis. X-axis is image quality, y-axis is ease of use. Because if you can't use the drone, then what does it matter what the image quality is? Or it doesn't matter like other way around, it can have a crappy image quality and be a great ease of use drone or whatever. So this one, as you can see, falls right here. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. As you can see, all the other drones on there pretty much makes sense because there's like a sliding scale for what you get versus ease of quality versus image quality, ease of use versus image quality. So overall, I really like this drone. I just don't know why I like this drone. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it or what you would do with it, but definitely something worth considering if you're looking to have a drone that just takes care of you and takes pictures of you because you really like pictures of you and your family. It's really good for that. Droners, thank you for checking out this Spark-inspired version of drone reviews. And if you want to see more drone reviews, bam, there they are. Or if you want to see the coolest intro video to a drone channel on YouTube, you got it. It's right here. And as always, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button because that allows us to do what we do and we really appreciate it. And make sure you stay fly.